Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are doing a ranking video of all the Star Wars content. So this is the animated shows, the animated movies. We are talking the Disney Plus shows as well. We're talking the movies. We're talking all about Star Wars here. Except for the games. Because I haven't played every single game. So I'm just not adding the games in there. And yeah, it is what it is. But this is my tier list. So we've got best, great, decent, meh, and really effing shite. So let's get into this tier list straight away. And we're going to start off with the Phantom Menace. I'm going to put the Phantom Menace in... I'm going to put it in decent. I don't mind the Phantom Menace. I really don't. I like the story that George Lucas was trying to tell with this particular movie. Obviously, Darth Maul as a villain and as a character, there's not much to him in this. The Clone Wars did him much better. They gave him actually a character that we actually cared about and a struggle and motive and reason to why he does certain things. But what I really like about this film so much is the relationship of Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Anakin throughout this movie. I love how much Qui-Gon entrusts in Anakin with the pod racing, with the Force. I love his philosophy about the Force. Qui-Gon is absolutely fantastic character. He is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love his whole fight with Darth Maul and how that battle is basically the fate of Anakin Skywalker because of the whole idea that Qui-Gon is going to be the father Anakin needs. And once he doesn't do that and dies to Maul, then Obi-Wan's obviously going to take over, which isn't the father figure he's after, it's more like a brother figure. But I really like this movie when it comes to that side. The political stuff is pretty meh, it's okay, I guess. Jar Jar's a bit annoying at times, yes. But I don't think it's one of the worst Star Wars movies. I actually don't mind it. The pod racing sequence is incredible as well. So for me, I put that one in the decent category. Solo, I'm going to put in meh. I don't hate Solo. I think it's okay. It's nothing incredible. They really botched Solo by basically shooting the whole movie, getting rid of the director, and then reshooting it all again. So they really kicked themselves in the teeth for that one. I really am just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie. Solo does not feel like a Star Wars movie. It feels like a space adventure movie, which is fine. There were some cool moments in there, cool things, but I don't think anyone really cared for Solo. No one wanted a Han Solo movie. We got one anyway. It's not the worst movie in Star Wars, but it is one that you probably can watch and enjoy, but it's just meh to me. Attack of the Clones, I'm going to put in meh as well. Terrible, terrible dialogue. I mean, it's horrible dialogue. The best thing about this movie is Hayden Christensen as Anakin and Obi-Wan. I really like them. I like Jango as well, and I like Count Dooku, and I like the whole mystery, who's behind everything. The final battle with Yoda is kind of meh. It's kind of just, it's not that good. The clone stuff is decent, but there is a lot of problems with this. I do like the rise and the fall of Anakin as we see him start to slowly go towards the dark side in this movie. So I don't hate it, but I don't think it's good. It's just in meh. I do think Solo is better as well. The Bad Batch, I'm going to put in meh. They're characters I do not care about. I really do not care about the Bad Batch at all. We got a few episodes in the final season of Clone Wars about the Bad Batch, and now we made a whole series about it that I did not give two shits about. Questionable decisions with certain characters, don't care for. I just did not like Bad Batch that much at all. It's just, I don't know why they went down the Bad Batch route. I just don't understand why they did that. It's just didn't make sense to me, and I actually would prefer to watch Attack on Clones over Bad Batch again. So for me, it goes in the meh category behind those two. The Book of Boba Fett, I am going to put in decent here. I'm going to put it above Episode 1. I don't mind the Book of Boba Fett. I think they're Episode 3. I didn't really enjoy Episode 3 at all. That's probably the weakest one to me. Towards the end, I did like it. I liked the first two episodes I really liked as well. Episode 4 loved. Episode 5 loved. Episode 6 loved. Season finale was a bit of a meh for me. I think there was questionable decisions. Certain characters that came back kind of just died, and they didn't really have that big of an impact on the story that they were trying to tell. I like what they did with Boba Fett. I like what they did with Mando. I like what they did with Shan. I like the characters they brought back. There was some cool stuff with Luke and Grogu as well. But overall, I just think it's a decent show. I wouldn't put it in the top 2 tiers. It's one that I would probably rewatch again. So I'm going to put it there. Revenge of the Sith goes in the best category. I love Revenge of the Sith. I don't care what anyone says. I love Revenge of the Sith. This is my second favorite Star Wars film. Love it. I'm a huge Anakin fan. He's my favorite character in all of Star Wars, like the movies and stuff like that, not like the extended, because obviously Bane and Revan will be. But Vader and Anakin have always been my favorite characters throughout Star Wars. I love the rise and fall of Anakin in here. The opening sequence is by far the best opening sequence in all of Star Wars. I love that whole, when they're in space, going to General Grievous' ship, that's great. I love the fight sequences in this movie. Obi-Wan and Anakin's fight is incredible. I love that fight. There's so much narrative to it. I just really like Revenge of the Sith. It's the most entertaining Star Wars movie. It's just pure awesomeness. It's so good and it's so dark, and I love it. It's really, really up there as one of the best for me. So it's in that category. Force Awakens. I'm actually going to put Force Awakens in great. This is the sequel trilogy, the start of it, that I didn't mind. I really liked this movie. I think Kylo Ren was absolutely insane. Adam Driver comes in, brilliant casting. Daisy Ridley, great casting as well. Poe Dameron, great casting there. Finn, great casting. I think you had everything there for a great sequel trilogy, especially this. Yes, it's painted by the numbers. It's the same basically as Episode 4, but that's okay. It's the start of it. I enjoyed it. I like the effects, I like the fighting, I like the story that they were trying to tell in it. So I think it's enjoyable. The death of Han Solo is kind of like, okay, I guess. But I enjoyed this movie. I really did. I can't say that I didn't enjoy it. It's definitely my favorite out of the sequel trilogy, and I put it in the great tier. Rogue One, I'm going to put Rogue One in decent. Some characters I just do not give two shits about, to be honest. I really don't. And like the Andor show, I watch it, but I don't really care for it because I don't care about that character. There are some, the only character I really care about is the main character, her. I really care about her. And it's a cool story of how they got the plans for the Death Star. I like that. I like how it ended as well. The Darth Vader moment is the best part about this movie. To be honest, it's the best part. It's so cool. I love rewatching that whole sequence. The effects are great. I think Ben Mendelsohn, I can't even pronounce his name because I've been talking all morning. His character is just kind of like shouty, just who he really plays all the time. So for me, it's just a decent movie. I wouldn't put it anywhere else. The Resistance. Really haven't shot. This is not made for me. It's not made for me. It's made for kids, basically, pretty much. And I just didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't like the animation style either. So for me, it goes down in the bottom tier. Visions. I'm actually putting Visions in great above Force Awakens. I really liked what they did with Visions. Now, there was, I think, 2 episodes I didn't like out of the 9 that they gave us. But I really enjoyed what they did. I love the concept of having stories outside of the Skywalker saga. Outside, giving us new Sith, new stories with new Jedi, new characters, taking it in a different route. You obviously had different animation styles for different episodes, which I really like as well, because I'm a huge anime fan, and I like seeing the different anime styles and seeing how they tell the stories the way that they did. I thought were effective. My only criticism of Visions is the episodes felt too short, and I know it's anime, so you're going to get the shorter episodes, but I wanted to see more, like the Duel, the first episode. I want to see more of him. I want to see his story, the Elder. I want to see their story. I want to see it all carry on. So I'm hoping we get a season 2 of Visions and we carry on some of those stories, because I really enjoyed Visions, and for me, it goes in the great tier. I really like it. Episode 4, A New Hope, goes in the best category. First Star Wars movie I saw in theater. Probably the first movie I ever saw in theater as well. I'm pretty sure was this movie. I love A New Hope. It's always going to have a special place in my heart because it's the one that introduced me to Star Wars, the one where I fell in love with it. Darth Vader's awesome. Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is where I really like Darth Vader because he's so menacing and so intimidating, and we see him be this ruthless person, and I like that. I like Luke in this as well, the New Hope, as him and Obi-Wan's relationship. I just really like A New Hope quite a lot, and it really kickstarted my love for Star Wars. So for me, it goes in there behind Revenge of the Sith. Empire Strikes Back goes at number 1. It's my favorite Star Wars movie by far. Well, not by far, just in front of Revenge of the Sith. I love Empire Strikes Back. This movie, I just think, is basically perfection. I think this is perfection. I really do. This would probably be my favorite movie of all time. Like, it's just perfection to me. I love Empire Strikes Back. The way that they introduced new characters, the way that they told after A New Hope when the good guys won, now this was the bad guys retaliating and coming back, and we saw Darth Vader and Luke have their their first confrontation, and I love the twist. I remember seeing it for the first time, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what just happened? No way he is his father. I just love Empire. I love the Hoth sequence. I love everything to do with Yoda and Luke's training. I really like this movie a lot, and it's my favorite movie of all time, so it's number 1 for me. The Mandalorian, I would put in great above Visions and above Force Awakens. I love Mandalorian. I love the first season. I love the second season even more. I thought what they did was incredible. Giving it to Favreau and Filoni was a brilliant idea. Creating this Western bounty hunter in space is just a brilliant idea, and it came off brilliantly. I love the side stories, the characters they brought in. That ending to season 2 was incredible. I'm stoked for season 3. I just really like Mandalorian, and this was the first time when I was watching it, after watching the sequel trilogy, where I felt like I was watching Star Wars again. It really gave me that vibe of going back as a child and enjoying Star Wars. So, The Mandalorian I absolutely love, and I put it in the great tier. Return of the Jedi goes in at number 3. I love Return of the Jedi. I've always loved Return of the Jedi. I think it's the perfect conclusion to the original trilogy. It's just a brilliant story. And that whole fight at the end with Vader stopping Luke from killing the Emperor and then fighting to save his son to become the father that he never had so that Luke didn't go down the dark side is just so poetic, and comes just completely full circle to Anakin as a character as he becomes back and returns as a Jedi to save his son. I love all that. I love the Endor stuff. I love the Yoda stuff with Luke and Obi-Wan there. This movie to me is brilliant. I love the opening sequence as well on Tatooine, where we see Luke unveil his green lightsaber. I really like Return of the Jedi. I think it's a perfect way to cap off the trilogy. And yeah, for me, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And it comes in at number 3, and it's in the best. Now, Last Jedi, I hate even more than The Resistance, because I just do not like this movie at all. This is just horrible. I don't agree with what they did with Luke. I think it's so out of character, and a character assassinates Luke so badly in this movie. I mean, you go from Return of the Jedi to this guy who's the beacon of hope to a guy that just runs away because of one mistake. Just makes no sense to me. The whole Can't-I Bite Bay scene, whatever you want to call it, with the casino and stuff like that, is pointless, and it's stupid, and it doesn't fit. It does not fit. It made no sense. If Holdo only just told Poe what her plan was, they wouldn't have got captured, they would have got away, and none of that stuff that happened on there wouldn't have happened. So stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. The whole Rose and Finn love story thingy was just, what the fuck was that? That didn't make any sense. And I love Rian Johnson. I really like his movies. But this one, he had a terrible day at the office, and I don't blame him completely. Kathleen Kennedy is to blame for the majority of the sequel trilogy, because she didn't come in with a plan. They just gave it to him and said, oh, here, you do this. Oh, you do whatever you want. Oh, you're contradicting each other. Quick, bring JJ back. Try and retcon everything. So for me, it goes in there, and I really don't like Last Jedi. That's why it's last here at the moment in Really Effin' Shy. The Clone Wars. You know what? I really like the Clone Wars. I put it in the great above the Mandalorian. Love the Clone Wars. I think it's just brilliant what Filoni did with this. Bringing back these characters like Maul, giving us depth to him, worked perfectly, and he became this character that we all love now. Then you bring in Ahsoka, you give us this nice, great character who really works well with the contrast to the Jedi. How she has a different idea and philosophy towards the Force, and the way that she grows under Anakin is just brilliant. Anakin and Obi-Wan are fantastic. I love the stories and the characters of Clone Wars. There's so much to love. The animation's great. I love Clone Wars. So for me, it goes in the great tier. Rise of Skywalker. Look, the more I watch it, the more I hate it. It goes down in here. The sequel trilogy, I'll tell you this. The best thing about the sequel trilogy is Kylo Ren. He's my favorite part of the sequel trilogy. I love Kylo Ren as a character. Kylo Ren is great in this movie. But there are so many things wrong with this movie, from the Palpatine reveal to him coming back. The execution of that is absolutely terrible, makes no sense, to the convenience of certain moments in the movie where they're standing in the right position at the right time to get the dagger perfectly to see where they need to go. Doesn't make any sense to me. What I was really hoping for in this movie is we were going to see Kylo Ren when he was on Mustafar in that first sequence, which was incredible, actually go through and start to unlock more stuff about the Sith and really come into his own as the Supreme Leader. But that didn't happen. We had to bring Palpatine back for fan service. This movie is just complete fan service. It doesn't work. This is a 5-hour movie put into 2 hours. It doesn't work. It tries to retcon Last Jedi and change everything like that. Why try to be its own movie? And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And yeah, it's a shame, because I had high hopes for the sequel trilogy, and then after Force Awakens I was like, cool, I'm really excited, and then bam bam, it went down. So for me, it goes down in there. Star Wars Rebels. I'm going to put Rebels... I'm going to put Rebels here. I don't hate Rebels. I think it's decent. I like what they did with certain characters. Having Maul come back was great. He was really good in it. I don't mind Ezra. I don't mind him as a character. I'm excited to see him come back in live action. I really am, in the Ahsoka show. I like the characters. I really do. They did some cool stuff with Rebels. There are certain episodes that you kind of like, meh, okay, I guess, whatever. It is what it is. But overall, Rebels is decent. I'm not going to hate it. And I'm not going to love it, but I'm just going to put it in the decent category. And Clone Wars, the movie, I'm just going to put in down here. I don't like this Clone Wars movie that much. The story didn't interest me. I think the way that they brought in Ahsoka just didn't work. It worked way better in Clone Wars, the actual show. She works way better in there. I know it's just the introduction to her, but I just didn't really care for this movie. Watching it, I was just kind of like, is it done yet? Are we done yet? It just didn't make any sense. It didn't work. I just don't like it. So that's why it's in the meh category. But I like it more than Bad Batch, so I'll put it in there. So that's my rankings right there of the Star Wars movies and TV shows. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of my ranking? Where do you rank them all? Smash it down below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.